Okay, John, this one's for you. We're on lesson 92, and it's about division. So I thought I'd review again what division is. So I looked in the glossary. I love looking in the glossary. An operation that separates a number into a given number of equal parts, or into a number of parts of a given size. Huh? That sounds complicated, doesn't it? But let's think about this. 21 divided by 3. I can either say 21 divided into groups of 3 each, and I have 7 groups. Or I can say if I divide 21 into 3 groups, there will be 7 in each. So it's the same idea, and that's where you get that or. A number into a given number of equal parts, or a number of parts of a given size. So either way. Okay, so let's get that out of the way just a minute. Example number 1 says that we're going to divide 150 by 12. So I'm going to say, if I break 150 into 12 groups, how many are going to be in each group? Okay, so when we start doing long division, it's easier to do the math. If we write it this way, remember the top number or the first number always goes in the box. I didn't have notebook paper, but I really like turning my notebook paper sideways so I can keep my columns lined up. I'm going to try really hard to keep everything all lined up. So in this case, what they say is break the division into a smaller division problem. So instead of saying 12 goes into 150, I don't know. How many times does 12 go into 15? Oh, so I'm just dealing with that piece right there now. So 12 won't go into 1. So I'm going to put a little X there. 12 will go into 15 one time. So I'm going to put it right above the ending digit of the part I'm working with. So, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. Okay, so I divided. I said 12 will go into 15 one time. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 12 is 12. I'm going to subtract. I'm going to check. Is 3 less than 12? Yes. Then I know that number is correct in my quotient. So once I've checked, I can bring down the next number. So how many times will 12 go into 30? I don't know. 12 times 1, 12, 12 times 2 is 24. That's a possibility. 12 times 3 is 36. So it must be 2. So I'm going to go ahead and say 12 goes into 30. Now I'm working with this number 2 times. So I've divided. 30 divided by 12 is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so I've multiplied. Now I'm going to subtract. 6. Is 6 less than 12? Yes. Do I have any more numbers to bring down? No. So I can write 12 remainder 6. Or another way to write the correct answer is I can say 12 and 6 parts out of another 12. So take your remainder and put it on top of your divisor, okay? You know how I remember my divisors and my dividends? The dividend is in the box and the divisor is knocking at the door. Divise door, dividend. So silly, but it works. Okay, so now they're going to go to example 2. And they're going to show you a little trick. Let's put example 1 up here. Okay, so they're going to say 32 goes into 987, or 987 divided by 32. So when I say this, I say that most properly 987 divided by 32. It's not the other way around, okay? So if I wrote that out, I would write it that way, and the first number would go in the box or be the dividend. Okay, so we're trying to break this into smaller numbers, right? So I'm going to say 32 won't go into 9. Will 32 go into 98? Yeah. But how many times? So let's try thinking about the first digit trick. So how many times will 3 go into 9? So we're just looking at that first digit. 3 times? So maybe I'm going to come over here because I'm not positive. I'm going to come over here and say 32 times 3. I'm going to get 96. Will that work? Yes. So I'm going to divide my 32 goes into 98 3 times. I'm going to multiply. I already did that. I got 96. I'm going to subtract. I'm going to check. Is 2 less than 32? Yes. So I can bring down. Will 32 go into 27? No. But wait, I have a blank spot there above my 7. Oh no, what do I do? Well, it won't go, it will go in 0 times, won't it? So I put my 0 there. So I'm going to multiply, get a 0, subtract, nothing else to bring down, so I know I'm finished. And then I'm going to say remainder 27 or 30 and 27 30. So we're almost at 31, right? Does that make sense? So remember, you're kind of estimating here. I really had to multiply 3 times 32, but in my mind, I was saying, oh, 3 times 30. So I knew that was right. So a lot of it's like mind tricks. Okay, let's do example 3. Loma Vista School expects an enrollment of 868 students. The principal wants to have about 24 students and 1 teacher per classroom. So how many teachers are needed for the students at Loma Vista School? So if we're going to have 1 teacher in every class, then 24 kids, then I just need to say 868 divided by 24, right? Okay. Now, we can use compatible numbers to estimate the number of teachers. So I'm going to say 25 and maybe round that up to 875. If that math makes sense to you, great. If it doesn't, you can always divide. There's a couple of different ways you could estimate that. You could say 20 goes into 800. You could say 25 goes into 875. And both of those are compatible numbers because they'll you can divide them evenly. You might want to say 24 goes into 900. Have a little bit left over. This is the easiest way because 24 is pretty close to 25. 868 is pretty close to 875. So I'm going to get a pretty accurate number by estimating using that. I find that that's a really hard skill to learn, to know what to round to when you're estimating. It gets easier the more you practice, but this might be kind of tricky. So let's go ahead and do this problem. We'll skip that one for right now because I'm estimating. So 25 goes into 875. So how many times does 25 go into 100? 4 times, right? So if I have 4, so 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 875. So 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So can I say 4 times 8 equals 32? And then I have my extra, so I have plus 3. So 35. So let's see if that works. How many times will 25 go into 8? It won't. How many times will 25 go into 87? 3 times, so 3 to 75. I just know that, right? Subtract and bring down. Okay, so let's check, is 12 less than 25? Yes, good. Okay, so I can go ahead and bring down my 5. How many times will 25 go into 125? 5. 5 times 5 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 2. And I'm finished. So 35. So I'll need 35 teachers, about. And if I did this, I would get a number very close to 35. But luckily, they're letting you use compatible numbers for this. Okay, so on lesson practice, A and B, you're going to use compatible numbers. And on C through G, you're going to really divide, okay? So using the numbers that are existing. So let's look at A. I've got 11 and 253. So 253 divided by 11. So can I think of some number that I could round that would make that pretty easy? There is no particular right answer to that. If it's me, I'm going to say that's close to 10 and that's close to 250. But if you round slightly differently, you're not wrong. Okay, so I'm going to round that to 10 and 250. And then I can do that division. I think you'll be able to get that one. On B, let's see, it's 21 goes into 253. What if I round that one to 20? That's pretty close, right? And what if I round that one? Would I round it to 250? Does 20 go into 250? No. So I'm going to go up and say 260. And then I can do that division. Okay? So the rest of them are just regular division. Do your best. Remember, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. That check step is really important. Don't forget, when you still have a number to bring down, but your divisor won't go into it, put that 0. That's going to be it. It's going to get you. Lesson 94 is more division, so we'll practice more of this on lesson 94, I think. So there we go. John, I hope this works.